politics, business, sports, arts, music. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty. Mike and Marty on the feed. Mike and Marty.
Good morning, Bellows Falls and Keene, and welcome to the feed. It's Mike and Marty. Welcome back, Marty. Yay! Today we're going to be talking with some Friends for Change people. We have Haley Gallaudet Cochran and Megan Licciardi.
Yes.
Thank you. Good. My names are always a challenge.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
I know, I was going to ask ahead of time and I forgot.
But first, Marty with local events.
So, at the Bellows Falls Opera House this weekend, or starting May 15th and running through May 19th, is Animal Farm.
Yes, George Orwell.
Interestingly appropriate.
I hear they have some really good voiceovers. The guy that did Lord of the Rings, that did Gollum, does one of the pigs.
Oh,
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have time to look at the previews to see who the voiceovers were, but I was thinking, because that seems
Lots
to
of,
be a
I
big
think, like
thing with
Seth
actors
Rogen
now.
is doing it.
A lot of
yeah.
voiceover work, so that's cool. So that's May 15th through the 19th. The classic movie is called Mostly Martha, which is actually one I've never heard of. It's about a chef who is very OCD, and then another chef comes in that's more loosey-goosey, and they have
And there's a
romantic
daughter involved
come
too.
in.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And I guess it's dedicated to all the food workers
it's
in
dedicated to all the
Bellows
food
Falls.
workers. Yep, to Chow Popolo, Leslie's, and Jamaican Jules, all the hardworking staff.
Nice.
So that's cool. The BF Community Bike Project is in the midst of doing a capital campaign, and they're doing a movie fundraiser on this Thursday night at the Bellows Falls Opera House. The movie is The Flying Scotsman. The movie itself was sponsored and paid for by Edward Jones, the office of Bill Stevens. It'll be $10 at the door, and the proceeds are going to help them repaint their building this summer. As many folks probably know, I think it was about a year ago they actually purchased that building. It was a long process. They got some grant money, and they raised a lot of funds, and they actually own that building now. So now they're trying to do some repairs and some repainting and just spruce it up. So the doors open at 6:30. There'll be a raffle in the lobby, and it's only $10 a ticket. So, and we haven't had Floyd on in a while. And Floyd, if you are watching, we do always enjoy when you come on. But this Friday evening at PK's, it will be Intercept, rocking the house at 9 o'clock.
Always great.
So, always a good time. Always a good time. And I don't happen to have a flyer unless they added one. No, we're not doing that one. But
Next Thursday.
next Thursday at the Bellows Falls Opera House is a regional comedy showcase. It is local comedians that want to have a bigger audience to hone their craft. Nice. It is definitely not child appropriate, or it may not be child appropriate. Just going to throw that out there. It's going to be an adult comedy show. And let's see, it starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20, and looks like there's 6 comedians, or I don't know.
Actually, I think there
I
are
don't
a
have
lot
my
more than
glasses
that.
on, so I can't.
Well, I heard that they're going to have like 15 comedians
Okay.
do 3 minutes apiece in the
Okay.
beginning, and a lot of one-liners, and because they've been
cool.
doing open mics out in Chester.
Okay.
And they're taking this. That's where this sort of hatched. Is that they all came together, and they've had more and more people come, and so they decided to do a show here. So they're going to have 15 people do 3 minutes apiece, and then they're going to have, I believe, 3 or 6 upper tier.
headliners,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they're going to do like whole.
I think that's great.
routines.
I love to see, because you sometimes the lesser known comedians are funnier to
Oh,
me
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
than the known comedians, because they're still just honing their craft.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for something to do next Thursday night, we'll remind you again next week
Yeah,
too.
it sounds like a really fun
Thank you
event.
for bailing me out, because
Yeah.
I was not.
Well, they and
prepared.
probably if you listen to Wool Radio, that they've been doing interviews with Gary Pinsky, the guy who's organized this.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, great,
another
awesome.
plug for Wool Radio.
Love that.
So welcome. So we were talking before we started. You have been doing Friends for Change for 10 years.
10 years.
That's hard to believe.
It doesn't feel
Seems
possible.
like yesterday.
And Haley, you were still in were you still in college or just out of college at that point?
Yeah, I was for, I think, probably the first 3 years getting my associates from GCC down in Greenfield. Yeah.
So tell us about, because you've been here for 10 years, but how did it start, and what was the sort of the impetus for the?
Sure. I can give the elevator spiel.
Elevator pitch.
I was working at the Boys and Girls Club while I was in college.
And that was here in Bellows Falls?
In
or
Bellows
was-
Falls. So
Okay.
the Brattleboro one used to have a satellite location in Bellows Falls. And then they lost funding and closed. And basically, myself and some other community folks and young people were just like, how hard could it be? Did our own.
Very hard.
And we learned quickly. But it was also an opportunity for us to kind of build something custom to our community.
Right.
And the Boys and Girls Club does great work. And we kind of expanded on that model and do a little bit more depth of work. And so then probably, a year and a half or 2 years after that,
Somewhere around there.
Megan came on and we started, well, essentially we became a program of youth services, which is now Interaction.
Okay.
Folks don't know.
They merged the community justice up there.
Yeah,
okay.
So
yeah.
hence
So
the name change.
Exactly. The Brattleboro Community Justice Center is now a part of Interaction,
Okay.
as are we. And Megan was working at Interaction at that time.
Yeah, I had a program with money.
Yes. Called,
That's a good distinction there.
Yeah.
Program without money, program
Yeah,
with-
Yeah.
cool program with money, and then we sort of spent some time together.
and that was called RAMP.
It was
What
called
did it stand
Ready
for?
to Achieve Mentoring Program. Federal money, but the program was so-so.
Yeah.
So then I picked Friends for Change.
Yeah. So we, merged with Interaction and have, continued to build the model since then. And we've moved a couple of times. We've got a new location now as of, I guess, really January.
Yeah, we sort of moved everything in at the very end of December and then went on vacation.
And and then had a Christmas break. So
where's your new location?
we're on 184 Rockingham, which is essentially in the corner. It's a big yellow house in the corner of Steuben and Rockingham.
Years and years ago, there was a gynecology office
Yes.
there.
Oh,
And there
yeah.
was a chiropractor's office there. So
Yeah.
it kind of had a history as like healthcare office in the lower level.
Yeah.
And then the upper level was residential.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just for point of reference for folks, like, because it took me, I couldn't figure out where it was either till I'm like, oh, I know where that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that to us.
Yeah, it's a little bit past like the fire station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great new spot and it's very accessible it's walkable downtown. The bus from the schools drops off right there on Steuben.
Perfect.
Also, the space we were in right before this was a second floor in an old building, whereas this is on the first floor, and we're working towards getting a ramp.
Yep.
So
Oh,
hopefully
good
it'll be
idea,
more
yeah,
physically
yeah.
accessible also for folks, which is very exciting because the old one was scary.
Yeah.
The stairs were not safe for everyone.
Yeah. And we're really lucky. The landlord there is, she's incredible. She was a longtime volunteer with us. She's a play-based therapist.
Uh-huh.
And so she volunteered with us in our middle school program and just really gets who we are.
Yeah, invited us to move in.
And invited us to move in
Nice.
when I think it was her father owned the building, and he has moved on from that space, and so we've been able to move in.
So tell us what was unique and different about when you created Friends for Change. Having been in the youth services world, but you created something new and kind of different. So talk a little bit about that and the model that you guys run with.
Sure. Well, I think the primary difference is that we were really youth-led. We like to say we're youth-led, adult-guided, and so the adults do have the say, and we're a part of decision-making. We're also really important safety container creators for what we do. But our youth have a say in everything that we do. They help us decide what funding we're going to apply for. In the beginning, they helped us kind of design the program. And of course that's morphed over time because we've been doing things for 10 years now. So we've had kids move on. A lot of our kids are first generation college students or are just living successful lives as adults now. And so we've had to shift as the populations have shifted. And at the core, it's really about listening to the voices of our young people.
Yeah, I was reading on, I'm not sure which site, but it says you meet the needs of marginalized and most impacted youth and families. So I think you found a niche that maybe nobody else was addressing. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think that we really focus on, I mean, all young people are welcome in our space, and it's not that we have like a,
There's no screening at the door.
yeah.
Other than like
There's no
a
password, like,
there's no password.
There's some age
knock it,
brackets,
yeah.
but outside of the age brackets.
Yeah. And so I think we really fill in a need in our community. And I don't think it's a secret that there's not a ton of after school programming in our community. And I think a lot of rural communities in Vermont, but around the country are in similar spots. There are sports. And then of course the play, which is great and always a fun time for kids. And if you don't fit into those two categories as a young person, there's not always a lot of spaces to be. And then what I would say too is that we really, specialize in young folks who have experiences of generational trauma, but also young people with disabilities. We have a strong LGBTQ crew. Yeah, so we really focus on trying to create a space that's safe for all folks who might be coming with a variety of identities, but also behaviors. Sometimes our kids are the ones who are getting kicked out of other places. But we've been able to develop, we have such an opportunity and a privilege that we can have a high adult to youth ratio. And so we're able to meet their needs in ways that maybe other programs would like to, but can't.
Also because we don't have, we have expectations about safety, but if we want to play Foursquare, we can play Foursquare, and if we want to paint, we can paint. And so I think for a lot of youth that sometimes struggle in programs that are very rigid, because there's a lot of choicefulness in our program. They often aren't struggling with the same behavior in our space.
Is that, I mean, do you provide like the one space where they actually get to own it and have a choice sometimes, maybe, where other places in their lives they don't get that, and that's why it's been a successful model? Do you feel that?
Yes, I think that's true for many adolescents. Not just marginalized adolescents. Oftentimes, like school, there's a lot of telling you what to do, and at home, for good reasons, parents are often telling you what to do, and it's a time of like a lot of independence and growth and development. So yeah, our space is often the only place where somebody...
Yeah. Could you give us like a concrete example of how that would manifest, though? I mean, it's easy, it's neat to say, but what does it mean?
Yeah. I was thinking about the mural. Do you think that feels...
Sure.
Yeah. So we got a new space, and of course a lot of that is like the young people having say in what we build in the space, like what each room looks like. But the big main project we've been working on is, we call it the welcome hallway. So it's kind of a hallway that you enter into the space, and the kids have designed a mural for that space. And so they get to choose the colors. They work collaboratively to come up with the design. We spent yesterday everyone putting handprints on this tree that they've built. When it's done, we'll have to send you some photos. But yeah, so they have say in things like that. And then as much as possible in other aspects too, like the food.
Yeah, we have a kitchen stocked full of stuff, and they get to, most of the time, choose what they want to eat. Also, we have sort of a rhythm and a routine where we come in and settle and get a snack, and then have a little bit of a circle and check in. And oftentimes during that time is when they all decide together what they want to spend our time together focusing on. So like really concretely, I'd like to do a hike today. So a lot of, we try to build voice and choice like opportunities into like all of the moments of programming, instead of it being just sort of this one, it's subtle. Right. It's sort of constant and subtle throughout the time together.
Yeah, we're so blessed to have funding that is really focused on connection building and relationship building. And so because that is our only focus, we're able to choose whatever we want.
What structure?
Yeah,
whatever structure
and so
does that.
we can extend that to the young people. Where some other programs they might be federally funded and they have really clear expectations
Yeah, so you have
around
to do this,
academics or whatnot, and those can be good things. But like you said, Marty, a lot of our kids don't necessarily have a lot of choice in their life, and so any moment we can provide that choice, we try to. So it's a big one.
So your funding that's obviously grant funding.
Yeah, we have a lot of prevention funding right now, and we are still spending down our first year of OSAC funding. So the opioid
Settlement funds.
Yes, yeah, we were really lucky to receive some of that.
We think we're getting it for year 2.
Yes,
It's a
Fingers
slow,
crossed.
complicated process. It's got to go through a lot of checks.
Shocking. That's the case. I know no money is free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're lucky that the committee approved it, but now I think we're waiting on the state.
It has to get through the legislature.
Yeah, and so fingers crossed that will happen.
Yeah. But no, never mind. That's just too detailed. I was going to say, how does that process work? But that's probably too deep for this 25-minute.
How many kids do you what is the average attendance, and how many kids do you see on average, and how many can you guesstimate how many you've seen through the doors over the 10 years?
Oh, the 10 years.
That's probably.
I don't think we've ever done that number, have we?
We should do that.
No one's ever asked us
That'd be
that,
good.
so we've never done that number. I'm
But
realizing.
you did the numbers yesterday.
For who we have currently. So in the last couple of months, we have about 35 youth we're seeing per
that's
month.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
And we didn't get some of the funding that we wanted. So we don't currently have a middle school program. So that's our high school and our young adult population with like 2 8th graders that are sometimes coming to the high school time.
Yeah.
Who were from our previous program. But in a programming day, it really varies. It could be 5 kids, it could be 15 kids because it's a drop-in style. So we really tend to look at numbers over a month. So yeah, 35 right now.
What is the lowest age?
14.
Okay.
If we had the funding we wanted,
Yeah.
it would be like 10. It'd be middle school.
Yeah.
It would be
Oh,
included.
okay.
But right now, the lowest we have funding for is 14.
And then we go up to 26.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we have a high school program and then a young adult program. And our young adult program is really primarily focused on either young people with experiences of homelessness, who may be in like a shelter program that Interaction operates with a couple in Bells Falls, or other, folks maybe living in the motel, that sort of thing. And then the other half are young people with disabilities, typically high support needs.
Because we've had a program for 10 years. At some point, we realized that some of our young people were able to launch into things like going to college or getting jobs right away. And some of our young people were sort of missing opportunities that they needed for support.
Do you find
and
that they come
scaffolding.
back and plow back into the program and provide support for the other people?
That's a good question. I think there's a big desire for that.
A lot of our young
Yeah.
people would like to be employed by
Yes, like, can I get a job
Can I
at
get a
FFC?
yeah.
For a lot of reasons. One, we don't have funding for that. And
Yeah.
two, having folks, it's challenging to be in a staff role if you've also just been a peer.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that, but yeah, I think definitely, particularly I would say in our young adult program right now, because we have those two populations that we named, folks with disabilities and those, maybe struggling to launch into adulthood for a variety of reasons. And those folks tend to be such incredible supports for their peers with
Yeah, that's what I was
disabilities.
thinking. That's what I
And so that time, it's a lot focused on sharing meals together. So some people are practicing, how to do the clean dishes after and
yeah.
cook and that sort of thing.
Those are amazingly valuable skills.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so they're great to supporting their peers in that way.
And one of the things I think maybe we talk about less, but the point is a safe place to connect both with like other safe adults in the community and with your peers. But we also have a shower and laundry services and a whole kitchen. And if people are interested or want it, we have the skills and the connection to help them get other resources or supports. So making referrals or warm handoffs. And so a lot more of that is happening with our young adults as well.
Yeah. So we've,
High schoolers could have it. They just tend to not be asking for it as much as the young adult population we're working with.
And is it just the two of you?
Right now, yeah.
That's a lot. I was gonna say, that sounds like you need a staff of more people. But I get it. Like the
That would be
funding, yeah.
great.
Yeah.
but-
Well, and part of why we like just coming on the feed and are a pitch to the community is that we're looking for volunteers.
Yeah,
And so if folks are, have a skill that they want to share, or I don't know, are willing to be background checked and are interested in spending time with young people, we can
Would
find
it,
ways to plug people
like,
in.
Skills wise, just to put some skills out there, would be somebody like maybe somebody was a gardener.
Great. We have
Maybe
a bag of
somebody-
seeds, but no garden.
Maybe somebody was liked to cook or liked to bake, and again practical skills. And,
Cooking and baking. There's a huge, especially in our high schoolers, desire to do art. So if anyone has any arts or crafting like skills that they would love to share, we have a lot of supplies, but just having like someone come and share, I don't know, watercoloring or something like that.
Yeah, or if you're, I don't know, great at carpentry. I mean, really anything.
Anything.
Would be
Do
cool.
you have you ever connected with other like it popped into my head like the senior center? Have you reached out to connect? They have a new director.
Yeah.
To reach out to if there's like a collaboration where seniors get to have interaction with youth, they get to like
Yeah.
have you ever is that a possible connection, or is there a timing gap is with the kids coming after school and the senior center programs I think happen like
During
earlier
the
in the
day.
day?
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't explored it, but what I would say is that since we're finally settling into our new place,
True, you this is
Yeah.
you've had a lot, so
Yeah.
so I'm not saying, but I'm just curious. if that
but
would
I
be
think
a-
that is kind of our new desire for our direction is to reconnect with community partners, and Main Street Arts is another one we're thinking of
that's right.
connecting with,
do
and
a lot of
and you're not the first person to recommend the senior center, so I think that's a great idea, and this is going to be our new focus.
Yes. Yeah.
And then another pitch for volunteers, which we didn't get a
Host
chance. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to talk about the host home?
Oh, Haley and I also run a host home, which is a federal program that we have funding for, to if there's a runaway or homeless or kicked out youth or just a youth that needs a break while family sort of figures it out. It's hard to be a teenager. So it's 12 to 18. They can hang out at a host home for up to 21 days. And we are looking for people interested in being a host home or interested in coming and staffing a host home.
And how would they? Let's just put the contact
need that.
information up again. Like
Yes.
the best way to contact you guys.
to call.
Call or email us would be great.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
email would be
happen to have
perfect.
your phone. Okay,
Yeah.
email would be perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're down to 2 minutes.
Yep.
So one other question I had is, I know you have federal funding, but do you do a capital campaign? Do you, or I know probably cart before the horse because you just moved into a new space.
Yeah.
Do you do specific fundraising events, or have you not gotten quite there yet? But if people didn't have a skill but they had money to donate with that, just saying, or even supplies, with supplies in your kitchen, are there other things that you need, basically is what I'm asking? Well, you have 1 minute and 37 seconds.
We have never done a capital, right?
No.
we've never done a capital campaign. We would love donations,
Yes.
always, of things, time, or money. We often need food. We need furniture right now.
Yes. Yep.
And then
Supplies. You're right.
supplies. Also, we have grant funding. We never really have enough.
Yes.
funding. That's sort of how the nature of it is. So certainly if somebody was like, I don't have any of those other things, but I have money, we would be
I
very
was thinking,
grateful.
sometimes things are easier, like you're cleaning out your cabinets and you find all these extra mugs, or you're cleaning out your just all these things that personally I always want to find a place for them and not just throw them out. So
We are always happy to hear about if people have things.
Yeah, I could reach out. And then also on the Interaction website, you can make a donation through the website if people wanted to do it digitally.
Yeah.
And
You have to specify if it's for us.
Yes, and I think there's a spot where you can just type in Friends for Change, and then it'll come to us.
Well, thank you guys so
Yes.
much for coming back. I can't believe it's been 10 years since the first time.
I know.
Awesome. And you're going strong. So
Yeah.
kudos,
feel good.
kudos.
Great.
Okay.
Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week on the feed. Bye, community.
Mike and